A man is confronted with diverse enemies, different kinds of enemies, and different kinds of enemies from different directions. But the man only recognizes one enemy and is fighting against that one single solitary enemy. And all the other things that are, all the other people that are enemies, he does not recognize them as enemies. Diverse temptation, diverse enemies, diverse challenges. He only recognizes one and is fighting only one enemy. He will not be on his guard against the others, and so defeat will be unavoidable. That's the reason why we need to have understanding of what temptations are. And we need to have understanding in the diverse temptations. We have to have understanding of the different kinds of temptation. I'm sure you understand there are many deeper life leaders, many deeper life pastors, many deeper life people. They recognize the temptation of a man going to a woman and messing up his life. They say he has sinned. He yielded to temptation. And when you look at some leaders that discipline, those they think have gone astray, the discipline is always only on immorality or fornication, adultery. He has sinned. He yielded to temptation. A lot of other things that are temptations that people yield to, we don't recognize, we don't understand. We don't understand. There are diverse temptations. Look at Adam. Adam did not see any temptation in the presenting of the forbidden fruit. That was a great temptation. When Eve presented the forbidden fruit to eat, great temptation that plunged the whole world into sin. You think about Abraham. Abraham did not recognize Sarah's offer of Hagar as a temptation. The Lord has prevented me from having a child, and here is Hagar. This is my consent. This is my will. I give her to you. And it is, I will not mind at all to have children through her. Abraham did not see that as temptation. But you understand, the product of yielding to that temptation, you understand, Ishmael came, and the descendants of Ishmael came until today. There is still this conflict between the line of Isaac and the line of Ishmael, because Abraham did not recognize Hagar as temptation. And then when God said, let that woman go and her son, Abraham did not see it as temptation to pray. The prayer he prayed for Ishmael, let Ishmael live, and then let all the descendants of the promises you have given me fulfill it on Ishmael. Abraham did not see that prayer as a great temptation. That prayer was answered. 12 nations will come out of that man. Well, you know the rest of the story. Do you remember Aaron? Aaron did not see it as temptation. He didn't perceive any temptation at all. Make us a god. This is not adultery. This is not fornication. He's the high priest and was keeping himself away from women. But now make us a god. That's why God said, Moses, go back to your people. I rejected them. I disinherit them because they have turned away from following me. The spies, 10 spies, did not see it as temptation. Were sent to the land to go and examine how the land is. And as we are coming back, what do you think? What do you think? They didn't think it was temptation to speak out their mind. He said, I'm just speaking out my mind. It was a temptation. They didn't resist because of speaking out their mind. You know what followed? Israel remained in the wilderness for the next 38 years, 40 years altogether eventually. Achan did not think of any life-threatening danger. In the appeal of the goodly Babylonish garment, we've gone to the battlefield and we've won the war. Here is a goodly Babylonish garment. Here is a wedge of gold. The owners have died. Nobody is going to make use of this. If we just leave it there, it will rot. And it will be a waste. And this was created by God. Let me help myself. He did not think it was a great temptation. You see, there are people, because we do not see this as temptation, that as temptation, that's why many people yield. And they don't think anything has happened. You remember Ezekiel? Ezekiel was a good king. Ezekiel was the one that Isaiah told, set your house in order, because you will die, you will not live. And he cried to God and he said, God, I will not die. Don't you remember my life? I lived a perfect life, and God gave him how many years extra? 15 years. And then friends from afar, the Babylonians, they heard he had been healed. They heard of the miracle, and they came to rejoice with him. He didn't see any temptation at all, because now he conducted them. He said, thank you for coming. You know, God healed me, and it was a great thing, and now I'm alive, and for the next 15 years, I'm going to keep on in the kingdom. Come and see my kingdom, and come and see the beauty, the glory of my kingdom. He didn't see it was a temptation, and after they've gone, Isaiah came and said, tell me, what have they seen in your house? He said, I showed them everything. Your people, the whole nation, because of that yielding to that temptation, they will go into Babylon for 70 years. Joshua was not conscious of any temptation, as he was on top of the situation. We've conquered that, we've conquered that, we've conquered that. And the Gibeonites now came. And the Gibeonites came in a pretended humility. And he said, we have come to surrender ourselves and to make a league, a connection agreement with you. And look at the food we got, the bread we brought from our place, already is moldy. And look at our garment that we wore when we were coming from a far country, it's already worn out. He didn't see any temptation in this at all. And so he made the agreement with them, and then 3 days after, he saw that they came from that place that was very near, but he had yielded already. I'm telling you this so that you understand. Temptation. It's not only that, you know, I praise the Lord. Some people will say, you know, from the beginning of this year until now, I have never been tempted at all. You know what they're thinking about? They're thinking of that only one temptation. I've not been attracted to any other person except my wife. I've not touched anybody except, you know, my husband. It's so limited. We're talking about diverse temptations. The Lord gave us understanding. Not recognizing diverse temptations, that is, not recognizing the diversity of temptations makes a deadly trap look like a neutral toy. Makes a deadly trap look like even a desirable treasure. But Jesus said, watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. You see, Peter was so limited. He was thinking of me yielding to temptation. God forbid. Since when have I listened to the devil? Since when have I yielded to any temptation? Watch and pray that you do not enter into any temptation. He wasn't warning them of women, of wealth, of worldliness. He wasn't warning them of men, money, or even anything you'll call materialism. He wasn't warning them of girls, gold, or glory. Beware and watch against temptation. God will give us the victory.